last week, the Montgomery County Board of Education approved a 6% increase for the 2025 operating budget, increasing the proposed budget. I'm always astonished when I read these numbers. $3.3 billion, more than 55% of the budget goes to Montgomery County Public Schools, and a small sliver of that goes to Montgomery College. But a lot has changed since former Superintendent Monifa McKnight released this proposed budget last December, and that was adopted by the Board of Education. We have an interim superintendent. We've had a lot of turmoil in the Board of Education. But one thing that hasn't changed is the budget for MCPS keeps growing and growing. And of course, the Board of Education is a body unto itself. Laurie, Montgomery County spends about $12,200 per student, not an insignificant sum, but test scores are continuing to fall, and so are taxpayers getting their money's worth?
I looked back at past years, and in 2014, the budget was $2.225 billion, and it's gone up. The proposal, it's gone up 59% since then. And when you look at inflation over that time, that's about 22%. So it's gone over double the amount of inflation, and we have nothing to show for it. In fact, things are getting worse. So something's not going right. And I think we need to really, really look at our Board of Ed candidates who are running to try to change the trajectory. We really need better accountability. We need to focus on the core subjects and not on social issues like gender identity that's been taking up so much of the air time at board meetings. It's ridiculous. We need to really focus on core academics, getting that up. That should be the number one priority right now. And the current board is just I don't know what's going on with them, but they're just out in la la land.
Well, it's interesting. I mean, I'm glad you brought up the situation with the current board, because the teachers union yesterday issued their Apple ballot. And interestingly enough, none of the incumbents received an endorsement for the Apple ballot. In fact, Lynn Harris, Sherba Evans.
Shebra. It's pronounced Shebra.
Excuse me, Shebra Evans and Rebecca Somdrowski didn't receive, and all incumbents, and they're running, they're up for re-election, did not receive an endorsement. So Maricé, what do you think about this change in course by the teachers union?
Let me just say at the outset that I am, first of all, I'm a product of public schools, and definitely, pro union, etc. The issue here that we're suffering, and this is all throughout America, I would say, is a chronic dependency by the citizenry being told who they should vote for. And the issue with the Apple ballot in particular in our county is, that the teachers union is able to bully people out who speak up against, and I'm a Democrat, right? Who speak up against the lack of, the quality of the services that we're receiving in return for the taxes that we're paying. I have been, I was elected. I have never received the teacher's endorsement. Why? Because I told them, even though they're my friends, and I tell them, we are leaving too many students behind. We have a literacy problem, and there's a disconnect between the curriculum that we're offering, right? And also, and the amount of money that we're pouring. So it's like the taxpayer, we're doing our job, okay? We're writing our checks. But at the end of the day, who are we holding accountable? And is that process a transparent one? Because, and remember, I know there was a mention about the school board. School board members make $10,000 a year. Trust me, the school board is not getting, this money. Okay, let's make that very clear. And when the Apple ballot goes against an incumbent, especially incumbents that have been not twice, but 3 times reelected, talking about Shebra and Rebecca, there's a reason why they are not being endorsed by the teachers. That's because there are folks that are speaking up and they're speaking the truth.
Well, and the
So-
teachers union, they want puppets. They want someone who
Correct.
does not have a lot of knowledge really, who they can just tell them how to vote and what to do and how to run their campaign. I know, I mean, when I ran for Board of Ed in 2014, of course, I was not endorsed either as a Republican, and they even broke laws to create a PAC that wasn't even registered with the state. With the state, it was registered with the federal at the federal level, which was illegal. They paid for a whole mailing that went to all the citizens. So look very carefully at who is recommended by the Apple ballot, and there are quite a few people who are not recommended that really need some attention.
Well, it's just strange. You've both had experience in this matter, and that's great
Yeah.
to bring that history to our viewers and our audience. It's going to be an interesting election with so many controversial candidates running for the Board of Education this year.